what can be equal to the prophet Daniel or the three youths? St. John Chrysostom asks. Before Christ, they somehow anticipated and obeyed the command of the gospel and sacrificed their lives for the glory of God. And they are admirable not only for that, but also because they did not act looking for a reward. They said, it is enough reward for us that we are dying for God. That's the best reward, to die for God. Blessed also are not only the men, but and the women martyrs, but because we have many women martyrs. I love, St. John Chrysostom says, the commemorations of the martyrs, especially when it happens that they are women who struggle. The weaker the vessel, the greater the grace, the more glorious the reward, and the more renowned the victory. Not so much because of the frailty of the women's bodies, but because through those whom the devil once conquered, he is now conquered and overcome. You understand? Through Eve, we were conquered by devil. Now, women martyrs defeat devil. The martyrs seem defeated, but are the true victors, because the life does not end with death, by death. A diamond, St. John Chrysostom says, when struck, does not give in, does not soften, if it is a diamond, of course, a true diamond. But the iron that strikes the diamond is shattered. So too are the souls of the saints. They were tortured greatly, yet they suffered no harm, while they broke the power of the enemies who struck them. They confounded them, humiliated them, and drove them defeated from the contests after many and unbearable blows. The faithful do not fear suffering and persecution. Rather, they like it. They look for it. They long for it. If the Empress Evdoxia, St. John Chrysostom says, Evdoxia was the Empress, and she was a great enemy of St. John Chrysostom, persecuted him, and sent him to exile. If the Empress wants to exile me, St. John Chrysostom says, let her exile me. The whole earth is the Lord's domain. What I have to fear? If she wants to sew me in half, like Prophet Isaias, let her sew me. I have the Prophet Isaiah as an example. If she wants to throw me into the sea, I remember the Prophet Jonah. If she wants to cast me to the beasts, I remember the Prophet Daniel, who was thrown into the lion's den. If she wants to stone me, let her stone me. I have the proto-martyr Stephen as an example. If she wants to cut off my head, let her cut it off. I have St. John the Baptist as an example. If she wants to take away my possessions, let her take them. Naked I came into the world, naked I shall depart. You see, a brave true Christian, Saint John Chrysostom. The blessedness and honor of the martyrs makes us martyrs by intention. We spoke before about this. Maybe we will not have the honor to become martyrs by blood, but we can be, and we have to be always, martyrs by intention. Saint Basil the Great says, "Truly bless the one who was martyred, so that you may become a martyr by intention." That's very serious, very important to venerate martyrs, so as to acquire their grace and to become at least martyrs of intention. And you will end up being deemed worthy of the same rewards as they, without being persecuted, without being burned in the fire, without being scourged, just by becoming martyrs of intention, by intention. Be a martyr, also Saint Athanasius the Great, who suffered a lot of persecutions. Be a martyr, he says, through your conscience. Die to sin. Put to death whatever binds you to the sinful state, and you will have become a martyr by intention. You see, the ensuing warfare we have to do inside ourselves to clean our heart from passions, to die to sin. And this is which transforms us as martyrs by intention. Today, if somebody withstands sin, he's mocked. A young man, a young girl, a young boy who keeps his virginity till marriage, as it is the commandment of our Lord, is mocked as a fool. This is a kind of martyrdom. He is martyred by intention, and he has a great honor from God. During the regime of Enver Hoxha, this atheist in Albania, there lived in Albania a very pious grandmother. At that time, the regime persecuted Christians and those who held onto their faiths, and those who held onto their faith suffered many and great martyrdoms. One day, the northern Epirot grandmother was praying, and she felt a strong desire to be martyred for Christ. An extra grace, we can say, from God. She prayed with all the warmth of her heart, asking Christ to arrange things so that she might be arrested and martyred. While she was praying, the Lord appeared to her and asked, "What do you want from me?" "Lord, I want to be martyred for your name," the grandmother replied. The Lord smiled sweetly at her, but he wished to teach her practical humility. So he said to her, "Go and ask about this matter from the priest of your village." You see, our master doesn't say, do this, but go to your priest. You see the humility of our master. He wants us to have a spiritual father, to be obedient, and to have guidance from him, not to go like heretics, like Protestants, straight to our Lord. We have to be humble. So he says here, go to your priest and ask him. Whatever he tells you, do that. These were the Lord's words, and he immediately vanished. The grandmother hurried to the village priest and asked him to allow her to be martyred. However, he had his reservations and did not give her a blessing. The grandmother returned home saddened. She was inconsolable. Then Christ appeared to her again and said, "Do not be sad. Already for me, you are a martyr by intention, and you will receive the crown and the reward of martyrdom." You see, our Lord sees always our heart, our intention, not just what we do outwardly. What are the conditions for martyrdom? Whoever is deemed worthy of martyrdom must have great humility and love Christ deeply. If he proceeds into martyrdom, St. Paisius Athonite says, if he proceeds into martyrdom with pride, grace will abandon him and he will deny Christ. This happened with a priest called Sapricius. You may know this story. It was a priest and a deacon, and they had a dispute. The deacon Nicephorus repented and asked for forgiveness from the priest Sapricius, but the priest didn't forgive him. It was a time of persecutions of the Christians. He was arrested. He was put in jail. He confessed Christ, and he was going to be a martyr. He was conducted to the place where he would be beheaded, and he didn't want to forgive Nicephorus, unfortunately. Nicephorus always pleaded him, ran after him. Please forgive me. You are going to Lord. How you are going to meet the Lord without forgiving me, without having love for me? He said, no, go away. I don't forgive you. When he was under the sword of the one who was going to behead him, he was like awakened, and he asked, what are you going to do? The man said, I'm going to behead you. He said, why? He answered, because you confess Christ. Oh, no, I don't confess. You see, he was proud. And he, in the last time, betrayed our Lord. This is what St. Paisius says. If you are proud, if you don't want to forgive your brother, you are abandoned from Holy Grace, from God, and you will deny Christ. For the saint who walks toward martyrdom, St. Paisius says, his love for Christ is greater than the pain, and so he nullifies it. That's why we read in the Troparia of martyrs that they were suffering like without bodies, like somebody else to suffer, not themselves. They nullify the pain through the love they had to our Lord. The executioner's blade felt to the martyrs sweeter than the bow of a violin. When the love for Christ burns strongly, then martyrdom becomes a celebration. The fire is more soothing than a bath, because the burning is swallowed up by the burning of divine love. Flaying is like a caress. Divine love takes the heart, takes the mind, and the person goes mad for God. He feels neither pain nor anything else because his mind is on Christ and his heart overflows with joy. How many saints went to martyrdom and felt such joy as if they were going to a festival. Saint Ignatius, commemorated on December 20th, in Greek it is called Theophoros, means had God in himself, carrying the God. Saint Ignatius ran to martyrdom shouting, "Let me be martyred, let me be devoured by the beasts." The joy he felt couldn't even be matched by a young man in love saying, "I want to marry her. And I don't care about anyone, neither mother nor father." Greater than the madness of the lover was the madness of Saint Ignatius. How to feel and to prepare for martyrdom. Saint Paisios says, to feel even a little of what martyrdom means, accept with joy even the contempt others show you. This is a feeling of martyrdom. Those who wish to be martyred for the love of Christ, but have no opportunity for martyrdom, can express that burning love through physical asceticism for the souls of the departed who are burning, so that they may find some relief. Just as martyrdom is a celebration, so too is asceticism a celebration, because one avoids all human consolation and finds the divine consolations. In any case, if someone goes to martyrdom in order to gain glory in paradise, it is better he not think of martyring himself at all. A genuine, a true Christian, if he knew that even in paradise he would suffer again, would be martyred again, would still long to go there. We should not think that if we suffer here on earth, we will have it better up there in heaven. Let us not approach it with a shopkeeper's mindset. We want Christ. Let there be martyrdom. Let us suffer martyrdom every day. Let them beat us every day. 2 and 3, even 3 times a day, we do not care. The only thing we care about is to be with Christ.
Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe they want to have a break. We need a break.
For me,
Would you like a break? Or do you want to continue? What does people say? If you want a break, put your hand up.
I think we could take a break because Father only has maybe very little. He could finish off and then follow up with the Q&A right after the last paragraph.
Or just stretch your legs, have a little break then, and the Father will continue.
Okay.
You want to bless the...
It's blessed. And the cue cards are at the back. So if you want, while you're taking some snacks, you can write in some questions with the question and answer. bigger groups, over